of the interesting topic, that is AWS Lambda. Okay, so this is a very important topic into the AWS because it gives us opportunity to develop our own code, and that to be run without any application server. Okay, so let's see what is the AWS Lambda. So according to the official document, definition is like this: AWS Lambda is a compute service that lets you run code without provisioning or managing servers. AWS Lambda executes your code only when needed and scales automatically from a few requests per day to thousands per second. You pay only for the compute time you consume. There is no charge. Code is not running. Okay. So let's see our traditional approach. Okay, so previously in our traditional approach, there is a Tomcat server, there is a Apache server, there is Axis 2 servers. Okay, using which we are deploying our war file or jar file, and then we are running that particular application, and there is a URL using which the client will send a request. Okay, this is our recommender server, that may be a Tomcat or something like that, or there are other web servers like a JBoss and WebLogic, right? So once the client sends request, it comes to our web service API. Okay, and then our particular logic of a code executes that. It decides the action which needs to be performed. So suppose one client wants some details. Okay, so it will connect to the database, it will query that and fetch that particular records and gives to the client back. Okay, and then in that case we need to use the APIs, some jar files extra which we need to like use. There is a third party metadata. Okay, so this particular thing of a server dependency, that is removed in this particular AWS Lambda. Okay, so this is a serverless compute service. Okay, so our code will directly run without any application server, and mainly it is for the background services, means front like JSP file or HTML file that we can't deploy into this, but for the backend services like taking any backup or shifting your file from one place to another. So for that reason we are using this particular AWS Lambda. Okay, so let's see in detail. So AWS Lambda is a service which performs serverless computing, which involves computing without any server. The code is executed based on the response of events in AWS services, such as adding, removing file in S3 bucket, updating Amazon DynamoDB tables, HTTP requests from Amazon API gateway. Okay, so to run this particular code we need some trigger. Okay, that may be adding or removing the files into S3 bucket, or updating Amazon DynamoDB table. Okay, so some table is updated. In that case your event will be triggered and your code will be executed. Okay, to get working with the AWS Lambda, we just have to push the code in AWS Lambda service. All other tasks and resources such as the infrastructure, operating system, maintenance of a server, code monitoring, logs, security is taken care by AWS. Okay, so all these particular things which we need in our manual or server based infrastructure, that is not needed here. Okay, so suppose you need operating system to deploy your Tomcat server, install your Tomcat server, then you need to deploy. Then there is a limitation of your hardware, that how many requests it can handle, right? So it is scalable. So there may be a 10 request or there may be a 1000 requests. It will scale up and scale down automatically, and your code will be for sure it will run. Okay, so AWS Lambda supports languages such as Java, then Node.js, Python, C#, and Go. It will work only with AWS services. Okay, so these are the programming language that it supports. The first one is a Java, core Java you need, or Node.js or Python or C hash or Go language. Okay, executes AWS Lambda code only when triggered by the AWS services under the scenarios such as the user upload file in S3 bucket. Okay, so there are some events for which your code will be triggered and it will execute, right? So, and it only supports for the inbuilt AWS services. Okay, HTTP GET POST endpoint URL is hit. So examples are if your S3 bucket has any file upload or any GET or POST endpoint URL is hit, data is added, updated, deleted in DynamoDB table. Your mobile app, like some requests come to your mobile app. In that case, remember that AWS charges only when AWS Lambda code executes and not otherwise. Okay, so suppose you have like compose one function and you have deployed that into this AWS Lambda. Okay, so the charges will be only applicable when that particular code is executed. So suppose your code is executed for 100 milliseconds. Okay, so your billing will be there for that 100 milliseconds only. Okay, not for like deploying that. Okay, so that is very good point. Then advantages of using AWS Lambda is, first one, ease of working with the code. Okay, AWS Lambda gives you the infrastructure to upload your code. It takes care of maintaining the code and triggers the code whenever the required event happens. It allows you to choose the memory and the timeout required for the code. Okay, so what you need to do, you need to paste your code into AWS Lambda. Then you need to configure your trigger, like when it should be executed, and then you need to choose like what is the timeout period to execute this code. Okay, so suppose there is a one video streaming process for which it requires almost 2 to 3 minutes to execute your particular code. In that case, you can increase or decrease your timeout period by the configuring into AWS Lambda. So AWS Lambda can also execute parallel requests as per the event triggers. Okay, so parallel request at the same time it can be execute. Then there is automatic lock provision. So AWS Lambda gives you details of number of times the code was executed and time taken for the execution. Okay, the memory consumed etc. AWS CloudWatch collects all the logs, which helps in understanding the execution flow of a debugging of the code. Okay, so AWS CloudWatch is what? It is basically for the login purpose. Okay, so whatever the services you are using, for that logs will be created into the CloudWatch. Okay, that we will see in the coming practical. Okay, so by default the logs will be created for your AWS Lambda, like how many times your code is executed and how much memory it is consumed and how milliseconds or seconds code is executed. Okay, so that details will be there. So billing based on the uses. The third advantage is AWS Lambda billing is done on the memory uses, request made and execution, which is billed in increments of minimum 100 milliseconds. Okay, so there may be your code executed 50 milliseconds, but minimum it will consider as 100 milliseconds. So for a 500 millisecond execution, the billing will be after every 100 milliseconds. If you specify your AWS Lambda code to be executed in 500 milliseconds, then the time taken to execute is just 200 milliseconds. AWS will bill only. Okay, so you have given the time for execution is 500 milliseconds, but it takes only 200 milliseconds. So in that case, it will cost you for only 200 milliseconds. That the 200 milliseconds of the execution instead of a 500 milliseconds. AWS always charges for the execution time use. You need not to pay if the function is not executed. Okay. The fourth advantage is multi-language support. So AWS Lambda supports popular languages such as the Node.js, Python, Java, C hash and Go. These are widely used languages, and any developer will find it easy to write a code in AWS Lambda. Ease for coding. The fifth advantage is ease of code authoring and deploying. There are many options available for a Lambda for authorizing and deploying the code. For writing your code, you can use AWS Online Editor, okay, Visual Studio, Eclipse IDE. It also has a support for a serverless framework, which makes writing and deploying the AWS Lambda code easy. Besides AWS Console, we have AWS CLI to create and deploy code. Okay, so normally for development you are using Eclipse IDE or Visual Studio in case of a .NET. In case of Java and Python, you are using the Eclipse IDE. So similar IDE you can use. So you just need to add AWS plugin into that, and you can directly run your Lambda code into AWS. Okay, so you can deploy that and test that from your Eclipse IDE only. Okay, so what is the disadvantage of AWS Lambda? Okay, in spite of many advantages, AWS Lambda possesses the following disadvantages. Following disadvantage. It is not suitable for a small project. Okay, you need to carefully analyze your code and decide the memory and timeout. Okay, you need to carefully analyze your code and decide the memory and timeout. In case the function needs more time than what is allocated, it will get terminated for the timeout specified on it, and code will not be fully executed. Okay, so in case of, so suppose your video streaming application like code will need 5 minutes, and you have given the timeout period of 2 minutes only. Okay, so before running your whole function, it will get timeout. So you need to very specific while defining your timeout period. So since AWS Lambda relies completely on the AWS for infrastructure, you cannot install anything additional software if your code demands it. Okay, so any third party, so usually in our web applications using the Java, so we can use third party APIs, and we can integrate with them. But here in case it will use only AWS services which are inbuilt, and you cannot do any additional thing in this. Okay, so what are the events that triggers your AWS Lambda code? Okay, so following are the events. First one is the entry into S3 object. So if your S3 bucket is uploading any file or downloading or deleting, so in that case you can configure your AWS Lambda. Second is the insertion, updation and deletion of a DynamoDB table. Okay, so DynamoDB is also is like a NoSQL type database where you can store your data as an object. Okay, so in case of an insertion, updation and deletion of your DynamoDB, your AWS Lambda will be triggered. Push notification from the SNS. Okay, so we have seen in the last topic that is a simple notification service. So if any email is came or something like that happens, in that case your AWS Lambda can be triggered. Get post calls of a API gateway. Okay, so suppose you have one API gateway web service, so on that if a get or post calls, you can hit your the trigger will be hit and your Lambda function will be executed. Headers modification at fevers or origin request response in a CloudFront. Okay, so this is a CloudFront example. Log entries in AWS Kinesis data stream and log history of a CloudTrail. Okay, so we will see one example of a API gateway today, and then you will be more comfortable with this. So use cases of AWS Lambda is similar like that. You can use the combination of S3 with AWS Lambda, DynamoDB with AWS Lambda, API gateway with AWS Lambda, SNS and AWS Lambda, Kinesis and CloudTrail. So these are some of the use cases. Okay, so now we will see one example with AWS Lambda. So this is a Lambda management console. Okay, from here you can create functions. Okay, so this is my new account, so I don't have any earlier function here, so I need to create on a function. So there are three options. So author from scratch. So from the scratch, if you need to create one lambda function, there is some use of a blueprint. So some templates are already given, using which you can update that template and you can use that. Browse the serverless app repository. Okay, so there is a, if your GitHub or some repository is there, you can connect that and you can browse your earlier applications from here. Okay, so we will take author from scratch. So first we will see how to create one test applications, and here we can give. So here is the language which we need, which we need to use. So there is a .NET 3.1. So this is the latest supported .NET Core 3.1, Go 1.x, Java 11, Node.js 12x, Python 3.8, Ruby, and it also supports the earlier one version. So Java 8, Node 10, Python 2.7, 3.6, 3.7, Ruby 2.5. Okay, so like this you need to choose one. So we will select Python 2.0. Now it needs a permission. So from the IAM you need to choose one. You need to create one role which will give the full lambda access to here. So I have one created already. So existing role will be my lambda policy. Okay, so create function. So this is my test lambda function. From here I can trigger the, like there is a, we need to choose on which trigger it will be initiated. Okay, so we can give here the SNS or EC2. Okay, sorry, S3, and we need to give the bucket name, right? So likewise we can initiate the trigger. So we need to give the trigger here. Then here is a function code. Okay, so here you need to paste your lambda function. There is an option to test this particular code from the screen only. Okay, so here is a button to test. Okay, the incoming parameter you can set. Okay, so for test you need to just this is my hello world, and you need to give the input parameter here, like for the required input parameters, and you can test that. So right now we are not doing that. Any environment variable, if you need, you can configure here. Okay, there is a tags metadata you can store here. There is a basic setting. So I was talking about the timeout period. So here is a timeout where you need to calculate the exact timeout, or you can give the buffer like extra 2-3 minutes to execute your function. Okay, so you can increase or decrease your timeout period from here. Also the memory required to execute this function, you can increase or decrease from this particular tab, right? Then environment variable is a basic. Then if you are using in particular VPC, you can configure that. Concurrency, you can at a time how many requests that to be executed, you can define from here. Provisional concurrency, asynchronous invocation is there, and database proxies. Okay, so if your function is connecting to some of the proxy services, you can add this database proxy here. So that is the one, and now we will see our example. Okay, so our example is like this. So this is basically an architect of this particular example. Okay, so what there will be Amazon S3 bucket. Okay, So what the user, there will be a one front end. Okay, we will host our website into S3. Okay, there will be a one HTML page on which we are typing some text. Okay, and then that will be the request will go to the Amazon API gateway. Okay, so that is a REST web service we are launching, for which, and that API gateway will like moves our request to the AWS Lambda function. Okay, so first is our post request. Okay, so first time our text and what there will be some languages, and that data will be stored into the Amazon DB, DynamoDB, right? And then in the second request, what will it will take, there is a second Lambda function which will convert your text into the audio. Okay, and it will store into the S3 bucket, right? And then again, if the client, if requested to listen the audio, in that case API gateway will trigger the get post method, and then your mp3 file will be like details will be given by the DynamoDB, and it will get our mp3 file and it will play. Okay, so let's see. So first step is we need to create one DynamoDB table. Okay, so we will go to the DynamoDB. And we will create one table. I think table is already there, the post table is there. Okay, for you I will delete this table and will create again. Delete the table. So creating table is very easy. You just need to give the name post, and you need to give the primary key, that is an ID, and click on the create. So post is already there. Post one we will give. The earlier one we have deleted, right? But I think metadata is already present. So this is post one. Okay, I will copy this name and I will create this particular table. Okay, our table is created. Then the next step is, so post is there and ID is there. The next step is creating a S3 bucket. Okay, so we will create one S3 bucket that should be a public. Okay, so again we will go to the services S3. We have already seen this S3, how to create a bucket. Okay, so there is no bucket here. I will give the name audio posts. The name should be unique. Okay, 05 020 North Virginia. I will uncheck this, so it should be a public. Create bucket, I acknowledge this. Create bucket. So my bucket is created. Okay, the bucket, save button, edit policy, access. Then I need to create a SNS topic, right? Then I will go again to the SNS. The SNS topic name is new posts. So I need to create only a topic only. Okay, not a subscription. So topic is also created in the SNS. Then I need to create one IAMA role. Okay, I have one role already created. Okay, and this policy is also assigned to that. So in this policy we are giving the full request to DynamoDB. Okay, then Poly, AWS Poly, which will convert our audio text to audio. Okay, S3 bucket also, and there is a SNS topic and bucket name, and this is our SNS topic. Okay, so this particular policy is already assigned, or I can create one more policy and I will show you. So we need to copy this. So SNS topic is created. Now I will create a IAMA role. Then this I am making for the Lambda, right? Next, the permission. I will click on the create policy. From here, I will paste this particular code. Remove this open bracket and fine. So here I need to do some changes, right? So I need to give here the post one table ARN. Okay. So what is my SNS ARN? So this one, right? We have created one SNS ARN of that. Sorry, the hero. Then I need to give the bucket name. So my bucket name is (2020). Right. Then my DynamoDB post ARN we need to get. So it is my DynamoDB. So this one, right? Okay, we are done, and now I will copy this particular code. This is a particular policy. Okay, and now there are multiple tabs are open. Fine. Review policy. So this is my policy for same. I will paste in the description. Create policy. Fine. So where is our role there? Now for the Lambda, next my policy is Mohan policy for lambda. I will take this. Next, not X. I need to give the role. Role for lambda. Okay. Create role. Fine, our role is created. We have updated all the three things here. This is already done. Now we will create our first lambda function. Okay, so go to the lambda. Okay, this earlier I will delete this. Create function. So our first function is post reader new post. Space. So scratch is post reader new post. Python 2.7 we need to choose and we need to give the role. Use the existing role. Move on the role for lambda that we have just created and we will create a function. Fine. Now, so what this function is doing, this function is basically uh, uh, posting our data to the DynamoDB table. Okay, so whatever the data we are passing from the front end, it will take that parameters and it will paste that into the DynamoDB. Okay, so we will copy this particular code. We will go to this particular section. We will paste this. Fine. And now we need to set two environment variables here. Okay, so SNS topic. So edit this function, add environment variables. So my first environment variable is SNS topic. So what is my SNS topic is? I need to give the ARN of that. So here is my ARN. ARN is here. New post, right? And one more is there. Second is my DB table name. So what is my DB table name? Post1. POSTS1. We are saving this. Okay. So our function is ready. Now we will test that. Okay. So this is our input parameter that we are providing. Our function needs to store this Jonah and this is working into our DynamoDB. Okay. If it is running successfully, our function we will test this test. Create. Now input parameter we have given and now we are testing it. So execution results succeeded. Okay, here we can see the logs also. So hello from lambda and status code is 200. Okay, so our function is successfully executed. So we will go to the DynamoDB and we will see that any record is there or not. So in the items, okay, so should be one record. PS1. Build duration. Here in the summary, you can see this particular log comes from the CloudWatch. Okay, so request ID is this, duration is 0.26 milliseconds, and build duration. So even it is less than 100 milliseconds, but it will consider the minimum one is 100 milliseconds. And we have configured the memory 128 MB. Okay, so this is the details. So let me one more time execute this. I think I have not saved this, right? So and now paste. Again it is saying posted a new post is successfully updated. Right, so our record is here, so we can see our record. This is working, and voice is Joanna. Fine, our first function is ready. Now we will create our second function, that is convert to audio. So basically this function, second one, will take a text and it will use the, our text will be post to the Amazon AWS Poly as a SNS post. Okay, simple notification service, and then Amazon Poly will convert that into a MP3 file, and it will store it into the S3 bucket. Okay, so here is the function, retrieves the ID of a DynamoDB item. Okay, so there is a unique ID which is created here, this one, right? And then should be converted into audio from the input message. Okay, SNS event retrieves the item from DynamoDB, converts the text into audio stream, places the audio MP3 into S3 bucket, updates the Dynamo table with the reference of S3 bucket and new status. Okay, so that is this particular function is doing. So what is the name of this particular function? Is convert to audio. So this is the name, post reader convert to audio. So we will go to Lambda one more time, create function from scratch, name is post reader convert to audio. Again we will select the Python 2.7 and we will give the execution role that we have already created, Mohan role for Lambda. Okay, create function. Fine, so our function is created. We need to paste our code there, and also this time we need to enable the trigger. So here is the trigger is our SNS topic. So what we will do, we will give as a SNS. Okay, and here is our new posts. So ARN is automatically came here and enable trigger. Okay, so we have also given the trigger in this particular case. Last time we have not given any trigger because it's just calling the saving the data into a DynamoDB. But here we need to send this particular text to the AWS Poly so that it should convert into the MP3 file. Okay, so post reader convert to audio is there. So this is the code of this particular one, that is in the code. I have pasted the code. In this Python, the like arrangement of these lines are very important. Okay, we need to give some space after this particular function is started, and accordingly syntax is most important. And I will save this. Also we need to save some environment variable also here, so I will edit this. So here I need to give the db table name. That is our USTS one, and one more, that is a bucket name. So what is the bucket name? Is audio post. Okay, this is also done. This is save. I have also given the trigger. Role is also given, so that is also done. Okay, so because there is a input SNS stream, it is required, the text, we can't test this particular function here, so it will directly run while execution. We will now create our third and last get post. Fine. So this particular function, what it is doing, it will get the mp3 file from the S3 bucket, and it will provide and it will play the audio. Okay, so let's create one more function here. Create function from the scratch. Need to give the name. Post, the language is Python 2.7, and the existing role, and create function. Here the code is very small because it's just retrieving the data from the database. Save this. And then here we need to set one db table name. Okay, edit. Name was posts one. Save. Fine. So we have pasted the code. Also we have given the environment variable here. Now we can test this with this particular start. So paste. Parameter is star we are passing, so it should give all the records. So we have created our test data, and now testing this function. Okay, so it is succeeded. Okay, so there is one record in my database. Okay, so it is retrieved as a JSON format. So status of processing text is this is working Joanna, and ID is this. Okay, so that is also succeeded. Now we need to create our RESTful web service. Okay, two overall. So logic we have created, but to give the parameter, now we need to create a RESTful web service. Okay, for that we are using a API gateway service of this. So API gateway, from here you can create a different type of web service. So HTTP based, WebSocket based. Okay, so I think from here Dinesh also used this particular one, WebSocket API, and now the REST API and REST API. Okay, so we will choose this one. So this is basically for the VPC. Okay, so below one is for the virtual private cloud. So if you have separate network and you need to work into a different network, then you can use this VPC, but right now we need a public access. Okay, so we will build. So REST API, new API we will take. Okay, so name we are giving here is a post reader API. Endpoint type is regional. Okay, so in my North Virginia region, it will be accessible. The whatever the end URL we are getting for this web service, create API. Okay, now we need to create two methods here. So that is create method. First is our post method. Okay, and here we need to give our lambda function. Okay, so my first lambda function is post reader new post. So this particular name I am giving here, or it will for the. So I have created one RESTful web service, and there in the web service there are two methods, right? One is get and one is post. So first one we have integrating our lambda function here with this. Okay, and we are giving the name of our post method. Fine, so that we are saving. So it is getting is ARN. Okay, that is done. Second, we will create one more method, that is a get method. Okay, and here we need to give the name of our get method. Okay, now what we need to do, there is some basic setting which we need to do here. So this particular step of post, so new post we have given and get post we have also given. Okay, now we need to click on this method request and need to give the URL query string parameter. Okay, so what is the parameter? That is a post ID. Okay, so while executing, so you will get one end URL from this web service, but to use that we need to pass some parameter, right? Query parameter, and that will be our post ID. USTID. Okay. That we are storing here. That is also done. Method execution, and here we need to give mapping template. Okay, so this is basically the content type. Like in the servlets, we are using the which type of response you need to return. So here we are giving the application.js, and we need to give JSON, that is save, and we need to give the paste one code here. So how it will get the post ID? It will get from the input parameter post ID. Okay, so I will show you its uses when we are actually executing this. Okay, so this particular integration is also done. Now we need to deploy, we need to run this enable course. Okay, so action get enable course button we need to. So what it will do, so it will automatically create a background code to run this whole thing. Okay, enable course and replace existing course headers. Okay, so we will just click this and replace the value. So it will check overall status, and yes, all things are good. Now we will deploy this particular web service. We need to give a new stage. So suppose we will give a development stage here. We will copy dev. Okay, and yes, we got our end URL. This we need to use in our front end. Okay, so enable course. This is also done. This is also done. Application JSON deploy, and we got our code. Now we need to download our front end. So open folder. So this is a front end. Okay, text to speech demo. Extract all. Okay, replace the file destination, and there is front end. So front end like this you will see here. Okay, from here you can select the language, which voice you need to select. So Amazon Alexa is having many types of voices, right? So one of them you can choose the accent, and you need to type a text, and you need to click on this say it. Okay, so your mp3 will be stored into the S3 bucket, and it will use one unique ID. That ID you need to paste here, and need to click on the search, and from here from the player you can play that. So that is the front end that here. So for that we need to edit this particular script.js file. Okay, so I will edit it with notepad.js, and here only we need to give that particular link that we have just created from the web service. So API gateway, this is my new link, right? I will paste here. Okay, save this. So now we will create one bucket, new bucket, and we'll store these 3 files into that bucket, and again we will publish this website into that S3 bucket. So let me create one more S3 bucket. So create a bucket. So my bucket name on www.myaudio.post example.com. Okay. Again I need to make it public. Create bucket. Bucket name must be unique, right? So we will give some 05022020.
No, that acknowledgement you did.
Acknowledgement is also there. Create bucket. Right, so my bucket is created. Now I will upload that files into this particular bucket. Upload, add files. So here is that particular text to speech, right? I will copy this path. I think I have 2 folders like that. Earlier examples are also there. So download, compress, date modified, today's date. So this is my earlier one. Okay. Compress. Let me copy it onto my desktop. www. Notepad, please. Copy. Save. Fine. So that is here. Now I will copy this particular part. So here is my S3 bucket. Add file. Open. Upload. Okay. So files are uploaded, but I need to give the permission here. I need to change the bucket policy. So there is one policy that is already given here. That we are testing. I just need to give my bucket name here. Okay, so there is one highlighter here that is a public. So my bucket has a public access right now. Now I need to go to the properties and host it as a static website. Okay, so by default it is disabled. Now use this bucket to host, and my front page is index.html. Fine. Save. So I'm getting my endpoint here, right? That is done. Yeah. So let's test it. Hi, my name is Mohan. I will save as a Joanna. Say it. Yeah, I got one post ID, right? And I will search that audio. Right, and it is processing. So one thing we have missed is our lambda function convert to audio. We need to give 5 minutes time here. Edit. File. Alright. Deploy API is done. Audio post. Static itself. Index.html we have done. Policy we have given. Right, so everything we have done. So now one more time we are refreshing this. There. Wait. We have got our post ID. Yeah, so it is successful now. I can hear that